New England, I'm John Dennis. This week we come to you from the beautiful Sugarloaf Golf Course in the Carrabassett Valley of Maine. Now, a lot of golfing authorities call Sugarloaf the finest 18 holes of golf available to the public in all of New England. And it is certainly no exaggeration to say that Sugarloaf has 18 spectacular golf holes. But Sugarloaf is more than just picture postcard golfing scenery. It's a golfer's golf course with shot values and risk-reward options. The man who made Sugarloaf a reality is Peter Weber, who had the foresight to hire famed architect Robert Trent Jones Jr. and bring him to Maine. They carved this golf course out of the wilderness. Peter knows his golf. He's a single-digit handicapper and has played many of the great golf courses in America. What he envisioned here in the Carrabassett Valley was a championship golf course that can rival any of the top courses in the world. Joining me now on Golf New England is Peter Weber, the founder of Sugarloaf Golf Course. I guess you would be not unlike a proud papa as we went around this golf course yesterday. You really have quite a spectacular gem here.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming up, John.
What was the origination of the birth of the idea, which was, I guess, about 15 or 16 years ago, Pete?
About 18 years ago, as a matter of fact. Larry Warren, who was then president of Sugarloaf Mountain Corporation, which was a ski area, we felt that we needed to make it a year-round resort. And Larry and I were both golfers. We caddied and played junior golf, and we had a vision of bringing a golf course up here. I was fortunate at one point to meet Robert Trent Jones and told him about the idea, and he came up, and lo and behold, this is what we ended up with.
Now, ironically, your first site of where you thought the golf course was going to be is not where the golf course was located at all.
Right, we were going to have it down by the touring center, which the town owned the land. And by the way, the town's involved in this golf course. They helped us build it. And Bobby was up here once, and he said, Pete, he said, I'm a little uncomfortable with that site. Do you have an airplane? And I said, yeah, we can get one. So we got in an airplane, and Bobby and I flew over, and he saw the Carrabassett River. And there were no roads in here, nothing, just forest and the river. He said, Pete, that's where the golf course is going to be. Do you own that land? And I said, yes, we do. And he said, that's it. That's where it's going to be. God has given us a site here for a golf course.
Now, yesterday was the first time I'd played it. I'm an avid golfer from the New England area. Is this a well-kept secret? Because I had heard about it from a few people, but I don't think the general golfing population of New England has spent a lot of time up here.
Well, I think the main problem, if you want to call it a problem that we have, is that we are 4 hours from Boston. But that's good too, because we aren't as busy sometimes and people can get on if they make reservations ahead of time. And but it's a well-kept secret, as you know.
But not necessarily with the people who rate these kinds of things, the Golf Digest and the magazines.
Right. In 1985, when we opened, Golf Digest rated us as the second best new course of that year. Since then, we've been #1 in Maine ever since then for 15 years running. And Golf Magazine, 2 years ago, they rated the top 75 resort courses, and we were in the top 25 in that. So that was a real gem for us.
I said to you yesterday that it's almost unfair. Most golf courses would kill to have one of these picturesque postcard golf holes on their golf course. You're greedy. You have 18 of them out here.
I think you said it best as we were playing along. You say, geez, these just get better and better as we go along. There's not one weak golf hole up here. I mean, when you leave here, you hit every club in the bag. And it's a real, what I call a real golf course, to put it in simple terms. I mean, you have to hit some golf shots. You have to move the ball left, you have to move it right. And as you said at one point, that it's not as narrow as you thought you'd heard. I mean, there is room out here. And as you get to play it, you'll know when to leave your driver in the bag and when to use it. But some of the holes are the long par fours. You really have to hit your drive, and you have to take the chance.
Final question, maybe this is unfair to ask you, it'd be like asking a father which is his favorite child, but of the 18 you have out here, which is the one that's most special to you, Pete?
Well, I think I'll go along with Jones, the architect, when he said the string of pearls, his string of pearls starting on 10 through 15, those holes are just spectacular. And of course everyone talks about our par 3 11th, but if you back up one hole and you stand on the 10th tee, it's hard to see a better par 4 in the world. I haven't seen one.
Well, Pete Weber, I got to tell you, Sugarloaf, the word spectacular does not even begin to describe it. You've done a great job, and thanks for your hospitality.
Thanks, John. Thanks for coming up.
My pleasure.
Great.
Scott Hoisington is the director of golf and the PGA professional here at Sugarloaf. I guess when you come to work at a place like this every day, you don't mind when that alarm clock rings and it's time to report, do you?
It's a great place to work. The views here are spectacular, and people are great in the area, so it's It's real fun to work here.
For people who have not been to Sugarloaf, describe the golf course, if you will, in sort of a thumbnail sketch type of way.
The things that make it special for me are that each hole is cut out of the woods by itself. So when you're out playing golf on the course, you never see anybody play except maybe the group in front of you. A lot of other courses you're going to see a lot of traffic out there and so forth. And that's really keeps in line with the pristine area that we have here at Sugarloaf.
When you look at the slope ratings on the golf courses, that can be daunting to some people. I didn't think it was unfair at all. I thought it was certainly challenging, but not unfair. Talk about the difficulty of this golf course as it relates to those slope ratings.
The difficulty is that every shot requires some thinking. There's a tough shot in front of you all the time. But the landing areas and the fairways are fairly generous. The greens are large. The challenge is that when you hit a green, you're going to have a lot of slope on your putt, and you may hit the green in regulation 3-putt, end up with a bogey. So it's challenging in that respect, but it's a fair golf course. If you hit good shots, you're rewarded for it. And there are a lot of different ways to play this golf course in terms of risk-reward. If you have the driver going, you're hitting it pretty accurately, you can try to take advantage of that. But if not, it's a golf course in which you can utilize a 2-iron or a 3-iron off the tee. The best way to play the golf course really is to stand on the tee. We give a yardage book to everybody that comes to the golf course. Calculate the yardage to the widest part of the landing area and hit that golf club that's going to put you in that area. And it's a shot maker's course, and if you can plod along and sort of hit the safe shot, you're really going to score better. There are chances where you can go for a par 5 and 2, but like I said, the chance of hitting the green is pretty narrow. So,
as a golfing kid who grew up in this state, and I'm sure you have peers who've kind of watched your career go, is this almost a dream come true, being in a place like this?
It's totally. I mean, I never would have dreamed growing up in Farmington as a kid that I'd be the golf pro at a top 100 golf course in the country. So it is a special thing.
What is your favorite hole on the golf course? And don't be diplomatic, because Pete said he likes a string of pearls to start the back 9. I got to make you pick just one.
I like the 12th hole, which is a par 5 along the river. It's a par 5 where if you really take a chance and you drive, you can bust one down there into a very narrow landing area. But if you can thread the needle, you're going to have an iron into the green. It's also a hole if you want to play it a 3-shot par 5. It's a short wedge into the green, so you can make birdie either way.
Scott Hoisington, it's a beautiful, beautiful golf course. I loved visiting your office yesterday.
Thank you very much.
All right. Those golfers are standing on the spectacular 11th tee here at Sugarloaf. As we zoom back across the valley, I'm standing on the 10th. Joining us here on Golf New England is Jim Costello, the Vice President of Marketing and Sales here at Sugarloaf. Give me a sense of what it is your duties and responsibilities are here, Jim.
Well, my overall job, John, is to look at the resort and market both the summer, winter, and our fall seasons here. Both in conference sales and all the recreational things that we do up here.
Now, years ago, that was weighted toward the winter season, obviously, because Sugarloaf is known for a ski area, but that's sort of taken a transformation recently.
Oh, it sure has. I mean, there's a long history of skiing here at Sugarloaf, starting back in the early 50s, coming up on our 50th season next season. The golf course really came online around 1986 and rounded out the resort. You know, prior to the golf course coming, we really was a sleepy town, and people went away in the summer times up here. The golf course is bringing a whole new group of people into the mountains. We have a lot of corporate groups that come in here, utilize the facilities. There's a beautiful Grand Summit Hotel, and they utilize this great golf course, of course, for their meetings and their play. And then in the summertime, we draw a lot of people from all over the world that come just to play the golf course because of the recognition it's been getting.
What kind of services do you offer, and who is your target audience?
Well, the services that we offer are everything you'd expect to find at a top-rated golf course. We have the wonderful driving range, incredible golf school, and of course the 18 holes of the Trent Jones course. Here at the resort, as far as the amenities, we have a full-service health spa that includes indoor and outdoor hot tubs, racquetball courts, weight room, saunas, jacuzzis, and a lot of food and beverage amenities. And then there's a lot of great restaurants to choose right here at the resort as well.
Jim, thanks very much for the time. I know you work hard, but I got to tell you, Sugarloaf's an easy sell for you.
It sure is, thank you. With a place like this, it makes my job a lot easier.
Nice talking to you. Paul Harbour, who covers golf for the Boston Globe, has been telling me for quite some time that Sugarloaf may be the most spectacular golf course in all of New England. Now that I've played it, I certainly have to agree. What's your favorite part of this golf course?
My favorite is the finishing holes. You start at the first hole, and it's 18 great finishing holes. We've played it in the spring and in the fall, and it's a special place in any season. Sugarloaf is one of the few golf courses where you'll remember every hole. You start with a downhill dogleg par 4 that's inviting. Don't try to cheat and cut the dogleg. It's a short approach to the green. The second hole is a testy par 5. First it cuts to the right, and then it moves to the left, a true double dogleg. Watch out for the meandering stream. If you can avoid the turns in the stream, you will have a simple approach to the green. The third is a gutsy par 3 with a sneaky putting surface. The sixth requires one of the toughest approach shots at Sugarloaf. The eighth is a par 3 over wetlands to a narrow green that few golfers will hit. The ninth is all uphill, a dogleg par 4 that demands 2 perfect shots to get home. When you walk off the green, you feel you've played 9 great holes. But the adventure is just beginning. When you step to the 10th tee, you may feel a flutter of butterflies in your stomach. This is one of the most nerve-wracking shots in all of New England golf. The 11th offers the same thrill off the tee. No golf course in America offers 2 more exciting tee shots back to back. You play the next 3 holes along the rumbling Carabasset River, a graveyard for many errant shots. The 13th is a straightaway par 4, but the fairway bunkers and the rolling green can detour you on your march for par. The 14th is a wonderful par 4 with an exciting approach shot over the stone-filled river. And the 15th is a par 3, an island green that has marooned many good rounds. The 16th is a picturesque par 5, but it's a beast as well as a beauty. Again, it's another double dogleg that keeps you thinking from tee to green. The 17th is a fabulous par 4 that any great golf course in America would be proud to have on its rotation. The finishing hole seems simple from the tee, but there are fairway bunkers to the right, and the green is also one of the most deceiving at Sugarloaf. Making a par there is a perfect finish to a perfect round.
Well, you've certainly convinced me, but is there anything better than a round of golf at Sugarloaf?
Certainly, 2 rounds here, because when you play it the second time, you see a lot more that you didn't see the first time.
Today's the day for that. Let's go.
Let's go.